Hi gang, I hope you're all really well. I'm Juliana, for those of us who haven't met before, and today's practice is just actually a very calming, nourishing breath practice, which allows us to calm the nervous system slightly, allows us to calm the mind, and we do that by just very gently extending our breath. And rather than working with a very strict, kind of in for 3, out for 5 kind of system where somebody else is setting the pace for your breath, we're actually just going to work with your natural breath, and that can actually allow you to set your own pace, and sometimes it's a bit kind of kinder in a way to the nervous system, which then in turn also helps it relax a little bit more. So lots of kind of permission and options given in this practice. So first of all, take a moment to make yourself nice and comfortable. I'm on a bolster. You're very welcome to sit on a cushion. I also have a blanket underneath, and that's just a nice space to feel kind of more comfortable for me. So my ankles feel that they're supported, and you want your body to feel comfortable. There's no point of trying to introduce a calming breath if your body's uncomfortable, which is actually going to make you feel a little kind of fidgety and anxious and kind of distracted anyway. So if sitting on a bolster doesn't feel good, or on some cushions, you can do this on a chair. Just make sure the back feels nice and long. You can also do this lying down if that feels nice, and actually lying down sometimes gives us a little bit of a different experience, so you're very welcome to repeat the practice in one position and then try another position. And I use this breath practice when my mind is feeling quite busy. I use this practice sometimes if I am struggling to fall asleep for whatever reason. When I'm kind of actually feeling a little anxious, this is a nice practice to do. And when I'm maybe feeling a little busy, when I feel like actually I'm being pulled in all sorts of different directions, so this is kind of a nice way to just calm the nervous system. And it's also a concentration practice in a way, because your mind is given something else to follow, and that something else is neutral, and it's your breath, rather than kind of thinking about your to-do list or whatever else you have going on. So it kind of gives your mind a little, kind of gathers you and softens you. So once you have found your comfortable seat, just taking a moment just kind of to take in your environment, so maybe even having a little scan around the room, noticing yourself on your mat, noticing yourself on your bolster, whatever you're seated on, actually just feeling your body supported by the ground. So maybe giving yourself a little wiggle if that feels nice. And if you're laying down, sometimes it's nice to just really feel the whole of the body kind of settle, snuggle into the floor, so that you feel like you really feel held. You don't kind of have to just kind of keep yourself on guard. You can really kind of just let go a little bit and settle into the ground. And maybe a nice heart sound to release and let go, nice cleansing breath. Maybe even a couple of lip flutters. And sometimes those two things, a nice hum and a couple of lip flutters, is a great place just to kind of let it go and kind of reset. So they're nice tricks of the trade too. And then when you're ready, you can keep your eyes open, or if you want to close your eyes, or somewhere in between where you're looking through the eyelashes, that can also be nice. Find a place that is comfortable for your eyes, and let the breath just flow naturally, coming in and out. Whatever way feels good, without having to change it or shape it. Just your natural flow of breath. And invite your face to soften. Eyes, cheeks, mouth, jaw. Maybe invite your shoulders to ease. Your heart space and your chest to just kind of soften a little. Maybe even the belly to relax slightly. And finally, feeling the pelvis on the ground. And here in this natural flowing breath, with the body a little bit relaxed, feeling support from the ground. Feel free just to come back to this space anytime. So a safe, cozy space with a natural flowing breath. Feel free to come back to the space, this comfortable space, whenever you like. And everything I say in this practice is an invitation and an exploration. So if anything feels like it's not serving you in any way, just feel free to ignore it and just come back to this natural flowing breath. And even just a few moments here to rest in this way, just watching the breath come and go, is a really lovely bit of time that you've offered yourself, and that's a great thing. Otherwise, I'm going to invite you to inhale in through the nose and invite that breath down towards the belly. And then exhale out nice and slow and long. And you're very welcome to exhale out through the nose and maybe gently, slowly blow it out like you would be gently blowing through a straw, just letting the breath trickle out nice and long and slow. Inhaling nice and low down towards the belly. Exhaling out nice and long and slow through the nose or through the mouth, wherever it feels kind of more softening, more easing, more gently releasing for you. Remembering there are no hard and fast rules here, so notice what feels good for you. Inhaling in, down towards the belly. Exhaling out, nice and long and slow, in whatever way, through the nose or through the mouth, letting it go. And maybe this is already kind of feeling that this is where you want to be, just for a few more rounds, and then feel free to come back to your natural flowing breath. Or I'm going to invite you to count your inhale. So literally kind of give it a count. It's not complicated, just kind of like 1, 2, 3. And then allow your exhale to be the same length. So counting your exhale so it meets the count of your inhale. So if you're inhaling for 2, exhale for 2. You were doing 3, exhale for 3. Just so the breath starts to come into a little bit of balance. For some of us, this is already a little bit of effort. So feel free just to gently work with this equal breath, a few rounds, and then just come back to a natural flowing breath whenever you like. Or I'm going to invite you to extend the length by 1 count on both the inhale and the exhale. So if you were doing a 2 and a 2, you're now allowing the breath to be a little bit longer. So you're going to inhale for 3 and exhale for 3. Or if you were doing a 3 and a 3, you're now going to do a 4 and a 4. So just 1 count longer on both inhale and exhale. Just allowing the breath to lengthen slightly, which in itself is gently calming the nervous system, but can feel maybe a little less familiar. You can do this for a few rounds and you want to come back to your natural flowing breath, feel free to do so. You can even kind of exhale and let go of any effort you were making. If it's feeling like you're creating a lot of effort, just enjoy the feeling of your natural flowing breath, if that's where you want to go back to. And we're just going to work with extending the exhale a little bit. So you're going to invite the exhale to be 1 count longer than your inhaling breath. So if you were inhaling for 3 and exhaling for 3, you're now going to inhale for 3 and exhale for 4. Whatever your count was, as long as the exhaling breath is maybe a count longer, just allowing the exhale to extend slightly. This might feel like a little bit more effort, but it shouldn't start causing any kind of real discomfort in the body. So if it is, just be kinder to yourself. You can back off a little bit, maybe come back to the equal part breath, or come back to a natural flowing breath, or actually just reduce the length. So maybe do a 2 and a 3 instead. Allow the breath to flow with a little bit of kindness. I'm not trying to force it, I'm just kind of inviting it into new spaces. And if that gentle extending exhale is feeling okay for you, then I'm going to invite you to extend your exhale by 1 more count. So if you are doing a 2 and a 3, you're now going to do a 2 and a 4. If you're doing a 3 and a 4, you're now going to do a 3 and a 5. So inhaling, letting your exhale be 2 counts longer. Just for a few more rounds. Still inviting the inhale nice and low. Allowing the exhale to be a little softening, a little releasing, nice and slow. One more round after the one that you're on. And coming back to a natural flowing breath. Maybe with a nice sounding hard to release any effort that you made. Taking a moment to notice the support of the ground underneath your pelvis. Maybe noticing the placement of your hands. Maybe just feeling whatever you're feeling under your hands. Maybe the ground, maybe your legs. Just a little awakening of the palms. Maybe feeling your toes. Maybe just allowing the movement to get a little bigger. Just gently waking up the body. You're giving yourself a little stretch. Maybe a nice yawn. Letting it go. Letting the arms soften. And just taking a moment to blink your eyes open if they're not open already, and just to orientate yourself back in the room, welcome yourself back to your room. Feeling the ground underneath you, you can give your bum a little wiggle, maybe even some nice circles. And before you kind of bring yourself back into your day, take a moment just to kind of let some legs. So sometimes I like to have a little tea nearby, so you can kind of have a cup of tea afterwards, or make yourself a little tea, maybe even something small to eat, just to give you a little bit of kind of comfort and support. Sometimes it's nice, or just a few moments to just move around. We've been sitting with our legs crossed for quite a while, so maybe extending the legs, or if you're sitting on a chair, or if you were laying down, give your body a good wiggle. And then when you're ready, just slowly bring yourself back into your day. Thank you for practicing with me. Can you give it a good shake out? Yeah, thank you for practicing with me, and I hope you enjoyed that. And maybe even notice if that's given you an opportunity to feel a little calmer, a little less distracted, a little less scattered, just any differences that you can feel. And you can do that just taking a few moments, closing your eyes. Okay, lovely. Take that into your day. Bye.